From the muses of Helicon, let us begin our singing. And the lady hero of Argos, who walks in sandals of gold, and the daughter of Zeus and Hera, fair like Athena, and famous Apollo and Artemis the archer, who sighed in a chariot shaker of the earth. And holy Themis and Aphrodite, queen of gold, Diana, Letus, Aetus, Perseus, and Cronus. Dawn of the sun and shining moon, earth, great Oceanus, and the night. Come now, from the muses let us begin. 10 daughters of Zeus, their hearts set on song. Clipper is the oldest and guides all of them. Urania of science, Euterpe of music, Melpolme of tragedy, Thalia of comedy, Tesitrol of dance, narrator of love, Polynyme of holy music, and the youngest of all, Clio, history. Celebrate the family of immortals, those born of heaven and earth. Tell me from the beginning, muses, who came first?
First there was nothing. Then appeared Gaia the earth. Followed her heaven a misty Tartar, and earth the most handsome of all. Out came dark night, bright air and day. Earth and heaven had many children. The mountains, the sea, Oceanus and the Titans. 12 in number.
Eos, Krios, Hyperion, Laetus, Thea, Rhea, Themis, Lemuri, Phoebe, Thales, Cyclops, who is still of spirits.
The Cyclops who gave Zeus the thunderbolts.
After then the youngest was born, crooked schemer Cronus, most fearsome of children, who loathed his father.
All those by earth and heaven, hated by their father.
When each was born, he hid them in a cavern in the earth. He would not let them into the light while earth groaned, till she thought up a nasty trick. She went to her children.
Children of mine with an evil father, let us revenge on your father. And so she spoke. They were all seized by fear. But Cronus took courage and replied to his mother. I'll do it, mother. He began it all with his ugly behavior.
So he spoke, and mighty earth was delighted. She set him in ambush. He defeated his father. Heaven's blood fell into the sea, and about it a white foam grew, and in it a girl formed.
A modest and beautiful goddess. Grass began to grow around her feet. Gods and men call her Aphrodite. Henceforth, love became her attendant.
As the children of heaven, their father gave them the surname Titans.
To Fortius, Keto bore Gorgons, Sino, Euryale, and Medusa, who suffered a grim fate. She was mortal, the other two immortal and ageless. But that tale has yet to be told. Cato had another impossible monster, the wondrous Echidna, half nymph and half monstrous serpent.
Grim Echidna, locked underground, has scary children.
Cerberus, who guards the entrance to the underworld.
The Hydra.
killed by Hercules.
The Chimera who breathes invisible fire.
She was killed by noble Bellerophon.
The Sphinx. The Nemean Lion.
Hercules killed that one too.
Lady!
And men. Rhea married Cronus.
After they defeated his father and they had wonderful children.
However, great Cronus learned from Earth and Heaven, who is to be defeated by his own child, so he swallowed his children when they were born.
Cronus took his father's place as rulers of the world.
Rhea suffered terrible grief. Before she gave birth to Zeus, she went to heaven and earth. Earth hid the baby Zeus, and Rhea wrapped a large stone in baby cloth. And delivered it to the Son of Heaven.
Seizing it in his hands, he swallowed it whole, not realizing it was a stone, and his son remained secure.
Rapidly then, Lord Zeus grew. When he was grown, he and Metis came up with a plot to defeat his father.
Metis made a drug. Zeus disguised Thetis Cronus, and he became ill. And the order he swallowed delivered up his children.
First the stone in baby clothes.
Then Poseidon. Then Hades.
Hera.
Demeter.
And Hester, the oldest yet youngest of Olympians.
And in the following war,
For there must be a war.
they became Zeus's allies.
This was the first war in the world, and there had been none like it.
For 10 years the conflict raged.
The Olympians battling the Titans.
Except the Titan Themis, the goddess of order. On advice of her son Prometheus, she and her sons battled alongside the Olympians.
For 10 years, neither Titan nor Olympian could win. Finally, Zeus,
On Prometheus' advice,
Approached the Cyclops where they lay imprisoned by Cronus.
why did he wait so long?
Zeus considered them too monstrous, but he was desperate.
The one-eyed ones. Do you swear if I let you out, you will be my friends?
We swear!
Yay! Cyclops created Hades' scepter of darkness.
It's an invisibility stick.
Poseidon's tridents.
And Zeus's thunderbolt.
Their new allies and gifts. The Olympians overcame the Titans and threw them in the pit of Tartarus.
You will fall for 9 days until you get to the bottom. It may be easy getting down, but you can't get back up. It is the place of punishment.
And there they remain unsung, for no bard will sing in praise of the defeated.
Once the blessed gods had completed their work,
On Earth's advice said Zeus should be king.
Zeus made Metis his first wife, but when she was about to give birth to Athena,
He tricked her and swallowed her whole.
on the advice of Earth and Heaven.
Metis will have a daughter who will have courage and a son who will be king.
Mine and Metis' son will throw me down.
Zeus swallowed Metis to be king of the gods all time.
5 wives later, he married Hera.
In the end, there were 12 Olympians. Each was given a domain of earth.
Zeus, king of the gods.
Poseidon, god of the sea.
Hades, god of wealth.
God of the underworld.
The 3 brothers who divided up the realm.
Zeus took the heavens, Poseidon the sea, and Hades the underworld. He is the invincible, for death awaits all.
Hera, queen of the gods. Not a very nice lady, that one.
Careful! Athena, goddess of war, who was born from his father's head when he swallowed his mother.
The twins Artemis, goddess of the heaven.
And Apollo, god of light.
We're his companions of art and music.
Ares, god of war, hated by his father Zeus and mother Hera.
Hermes, messenger of the gods.
Trickster, if there ever was one.
Aphrodite, the goddess of love.
Demeter, goddess of the harvest.
Her poor daughter, Persephone.
Not yet.
And Hester, goddess of the earth, though she grew bored and gave her seat to Dionysus, god of wine.
There's also Hephaestus, god of fire.
He doesn't count, he doesn't sit on the council.
I thought he did and Hades didn't. He stayed in the underworld.
Hush, Cleo.
At the beginning of the reign, 2 Titan brothers remained free. Prometheus, subtle and clever. Epimetheus, a disaster to men. He received the first woman from Zeus for a wife.
Not yet!
God created the animal species and left it to the brothers to give gifts and powers.
Epimetheus, known to be average, begged for the job.
On the day the animal species would be delivered to Earth, Prometheus visited Epimetheus to discover what had been given what.
He was pleasantly surprised by the creativity.
Until he reached one lump of clay. They had been given nothing.
What about this one? What are your plans for it? What is it?
It's a human being and I had no plans for it. I forgot it and now I've used up all the powers. There's nothing left for it.
Foolish one! We cannot send it out into the world with nothing. No fangs to fight, no fur to shelter. I will give human beings my essence.
It came like a bolt of lightning. Prometheus's essence was called intelligence.
The gods soon realized the intelligence of men.
So they created sacrifices.
Man's way of asking for wisdom of the gods. So gods and mortal men came together to decide how sacrifices should be given, which parts for the gods and which for the men.
Prometheus served the ox to trick Zeus. He covered the meat and fat with the stomach and gave that to Zeus, and covered the bones in fat and gave it to the men.
Son of Aetos, how well you have divided the proportions.
Oh, great Zeus, pick whichever you would like.
Trickery! You are so deceitful. Mortal men will never get the fire and will stay cold forever. Thanks to your trick.
What was done on the day of fire could not be undone.
With fire and Prometheus's intelligence, who knew men might become gods themselves?
Hephaestus, Athena, Aphrodite. Mix earth with water, add in a human's voice and strength. Mold a modest maiden. Athena, teach her crafts and how to weave. Aphrodite, shower her with charm and obsession. And Hermes, give her a cunning mind and a lying nature.
The bane of mortal men. From Pandora came mortal females, conspirators and causing difficulty.
All to get Prometheus back for helping mortal men.
Thus, there's no way of deceiving Zeus.
Son of Aetos, clever among all, you are pleased of stolen fire and outwitted me. A great calamity for you and the mortal. To set against the fire, I will give them a affliction, which they will embrace with their own misfortune, which they will delight as they embrace their own. Greet Pandora.
a calamity for men.
Greeting, Epimetheus. The king of gods, Zeus, has graced you with a gift. Pandora, your wife, if you'll accept her.
Epimetheus, remember what I told you. Never accept a gift from Zeus. Send her back in case something hurts the mortals.
Hush, Prometheus. You're just jealous because Zeus likes me, not you. It's your own fault. You angered him.
Well said, wise Epimetheus. Will you accept the gift?
I will with thanks.
I also bring a wedding gift from Zeus.
But know this, you shall never open the box. This is Zeus's law, must be held.
But why? It's surely ours to do with what we want.
I'm sure Zeus meant until I got it. We'll open it together.
You must never open the box, ever!
Very well. Come, wife. We'll do as the gods tell us.
But Pandora had been gifted with many things.
And Zeus knew. Surely Zeus is playing a trick on us.
Leave it alone, Pandora.
But don't you want to know what's inside?
I'm not interested.
But she could not.
I'll just have the smallest look. No one will notice.
Inside of Pandora's box with all the world's evils.
Originally, the tribes of men lived without ills
Without harsh toil.
and the grievous sickness that is deadly to men.
But the woman opened the box and let it all out.
Out came misery, out came death,
Disease and poverty.
and they brought grim cares.
Pandora managed to close the box, but it was too late. They had all been released. Except...
Let me out!
No, I don't dare.
Without me there will be no hope. Let me help. I can soothe the wounds of evil.
Hope soothes those ones in pain.
Thus there is no way to escape Zeus.
Now, the story of Echo.
Poor nymph.
She lived in the woods.
A gentle, kind girl with a beautiful voice. Until Zeus met her in the woods.
Nymph, I must hide. My wife is after me.
You mean Hera, queen of the gods?
Yes, her. Now can you distract her while I hide?
But Zeus.
Do as I command.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen my husband?
Your husband?
Yes, girl.
Who's your husband?
Zeus.
Who are you?
Hera.
Oh my goodness. I never did meet one of the Olympian goddesses before.
I did meet Iris once.
She's not nearly as important as you are. Thetis raised the Hysus, your son, didn't she? Do you think you can introduce me? What about Dionysus? I'd love to meet him.
So from that day on, Zeus would hide in the woods when he angered Hera. And Echo would distract Hera to give Zeus time to get away.
But Hera wasn't to be swayed.
She realized the nymph was helping her husband.
She took it out on poor Echo instead of Zeus.
Hush!
Hera, I didn't realize you were here today.
No, I don't suppose you did.
Did you hear about,
Just how long did you think you'd get away with it?
get away with what, my queen?
Did you really think I wouldn't know what you two were up to?
Up to? I don't know what you could mean.
Silence! You gossip and chatter to distract me. From this day on, you will never speak again. No one will hear your beautiful voice. The only words you'll be allowed to utter are the ones you repeat. So mote it be.
Poor Echo.
It wasn't her fault.
It was the will of the gods, and they're always merciful.
Echo wandered the earth, only able to repeat the last sound she heard.
She could howl like a wolf, but only if a wolf just howled.
She could sing like a breeze through the reeds, until one day she stumbled across a beautiful young man, and she fell in love with this sight. Narcissus, a young man who had been separated from his
friends.
Hello? 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 Who's there? Who's there? Stop that! Stop that! Come to me. Ha, and who are you? Who are you? What, are you so foolish you can't think of your own things to say? Things to say? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Like that? I suppose you love me. Love me? Please. Someone as beautiful as me. Love you. Love you. Go away.
Narcissus was vain and arrogant. His rejection of Echo brought him to the attention of Nemesis.
She would target mortals that would commit hubris.
What's been brought down upon her be returned times 4. What? The fairest? You got some nerve. I hope you get what you deserve. You are so beautiful. So beautiful.
Day after day, Narcissus laid down at the stream, admiring his own reflection. He stopped eating, stopped drinking. Finally, he died and was turned into a narcissus flower, always admiring itself in its reflection.
And Echo, who stayed by his side, wasted away next to him, leaving only her voice to echo in the wind.
The abduction of Persephone.
A terrible tale.
Persephone, daughter of Demeter, goddess of harvest.
Before Persephone was taken, the world was always in summer. She was playing with the daughters of Oceanus and gathering flowers like roses, crocuses,
Beautiful violets.
irises also,
Hyacinthus,
and the Narcissus turned flower after he rejected Echo,
the narcissus that Zeus made grow.
to be a trap for the girl. A thing of awe, it smelled most sweetly.
Oh, sweet Persephone, come and be my wife.
I'm sorry, sir, but I must decline. I have to go back to my mother.
You will be queen of the underworld.
I'm sorry, but I need to go back to see my friends. No, Zeus, save me!
Persephone! Persephone! Demeter! What is it? What's happened?
We didn't know.
We didn't see him.
See who? Where's Persephone?
She was picking flowers. Just picking flowers.
We only went over the hill.
Then he was there. It suddenly went so cold and the sun disappeared.
Who?
Hades.
God of the underworld.
What happened to Persephone?
He took her.
Where? To the underworld. No!
I want to go home.
Oh, sweet Persephone, it will feel better if you eat something.
No, I'll be happy when I go home.
Brother, save her, bring her back. There's nothing I can do. I have no power in the underworld. Put Persephone out of your mind. I've given you wings. You lost my daughter, so you must find her.
Persephone was not to be found. Demeter wanted the earth for 9 long days, neglecting her duties.
The earth became barren, mortal men began to die.
Until Zeus and his infinite wisdom sent for Demeter.
Sister, I have decided to send Hermes to Hades to bring Persephone back to you. But you must let the land bloom again. Thank you, brother! I must warn you, if she has eaten anything in her 9 days in the underworld, she must stay there forever. Open in the name of Zeus.
How about some pomegranate seeds?
Oh, very well.
Stop! Have you eaten any? I have heard what has happened. Persephone, you have eaten the food of the underworld. Now you must live there.
No!
Yeah!
Let me finish. You only ate the 6 seeds out of the 12, so I decree to make the land bloom again and to keep the ancient laws intact. I declare that you will live with your mother on earth for 6 months and with Hades as queen of the underworld for 6 months.
And so it was done.
While Persephone lived with Hades, her mother's grief turned the months dark and cold. So we had winter.
The earth barren. When she returns to her mother, Demeter brings back light and warmth, and so spring and summer came about. But wait, what about the sirens? Weren't they still searching for her?
Come, my sweet girls. My daughter has been made to live in the underworld. Because of you, I curse you. You will stay in your bird form and be banished. Never again will you be happy. You will sing and call for Persephone, but only men will hear you. They will die of starvation and you will never be free.
The siren song was beautiful yet sad, calling for Persephone's return. And Persephone, what became her?
The princess of the underworld carried curses to men.
Curses?
She also tried to help the mortals trapped in the underworld.
Like poor talented Orpheus. Who?
Shh! Calypso's son.
Orpheus is known as the most talented music player.
It is said the god Apollo is his father.
He was living in Thlaki in the north of Greece.
He used to just sing poetry.
Until one day his eyes fell on a nymph.
Something inexplicable tugged the hearts of two people, and they fell dearly in love.
As God of marriage, I bless this wedding, though I fear that it won't last years.
What?
At first, the wedding was happy.
Until one day Eurydice decided to wander the woods with her fellow nymphs.
Ow! Orpheus! Eurydice! What's going on? Eurydice, can you hear me? Father Apollo, Zeus, anybody, help me!
Poor Orpheus, poor Eurydice. What a sad story.
It's not over.
Orpheus wasn't the same after his wife's death. He didn't sing or play.
My son, you must try to sing again. It's a gift.
What do I have to sing about? Eurydice is dead. The world is a bleak place.
Go to the underworld.
What?
Go to Hades and try to convince him to release your wife.
You think she will?
Try. No one's ever been able to resist your music. So Orpheus descended into Hades, the madness of love driving him.
My lord Hades, my lady Persephone, I come to beg a boon.
I've granted you permission to stand before me. What more do you want?
A small favour for you, but one that would mean everything for me.
Speak then, mortal.
My wife Eurydice was taken too soon.
He doesn't belong here yet.
You should know I don't release the dead. When they're dead, they're mine!
Well then let me see her one last time. We never got to say goodbye.
This one gift you could grant.
Fine then.
Goodbye, Orpheus. Wait, not yet. With Eurydice at his side, Orpheus found the love to sing once again. God to rule the dark and silent world, dear born of a woman needs must come. Lovely things at last go down to you. You are the debtor who is always paid. A little while we carry up on earth, then we are yours forever and forever. But I seek one who came to you too soon. A heart was plucked before the flower bloomed. I tried to bear my loss, I could not bear it. Love was too strong, God, can you know? If that old tale is true, I once the flower saw the taking of Persephone, then weave again for sweet breeze. The pattern that was taken from the loom. Quick, see, I ask a little thing, only that you will lend, not give her to me.
As he sang, the monsters sobbed.
Cerberus howled.
And even the Furies wept.
Hades openly wept.
The song made hell grant what love did seek. Husband, the one who sings so beautifully shall not be denied this favour.
Go! And take Eurydice with you. On one condition. Eurydice will follow you as you walk back to the upper world. But you must not look back at her while in the dark. You must wait for her to get into the light. Otherwise you will lose her for eternity. Those are my terms. Ha 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 ha!
With great faith in his heart, Orpheus began his journey out of the underworld. Joyful, he would be reunited with his love.
The light was in sight.
Orpheus stepped out of the darkness and into the light. As he did, he turned to reach her, and he looked at her.
Still stood in the shadow of Hades.
And his sweet wife was dragged back into the underworld.
No! Please, let me in! No! Zeus, please! I'm sorry, Orpheus. You had your chance. Please, let me try again. The gods do not consent to a mortal coming into time.
From then, the broken-hearted musician wandered, day after day, night after night, in total despair.
His songs were no more joyful, but sad.
Until one day his soul descended down to Hades, where he was reunited with his beloved Eurydice.
The Harpies.
Alero, approximately Alero.
Half human and half bird.
They store and sweep.
Their names mean snatchers.
The hounds of mighty Zeus.
The guardians of the underworld.
They are the agents of punishment.
They abduct people.
Tortured them on their way to Tartarus. They are vicious, cruel, and violent. One such man who tortured was Phineas the king.
Phineas, who was given the gift of prophecy by Apollo.
With this gift, you may know all. You may reveal some, but not all to men.
I will do that, O great Apollo.
But he did not use his gift properly.
Oh, Phineas, how do I get the golden fleece?
Now really, Phineas should have been vague. Given him a warning that could mean anything.
Like all prophecies, vague.
But not Phineas's prophecies. Phineas showed men of what they shouldn't see.
All of those who went to Phineas received clear directions and warnings.
He told them in great detail about the gods. This is exactly what you must do.
Phineas, traitor!
Zeus!
I am honoured. You're a traitor. Never, I loved the gods. You were loved by the gods. Now you must be punished.
I've done nothing.
You did not use your gift properly. You've revealed too much to men. Die or lose your sight. What will it be? You choose.
But I...
Choose!
I must lose my sight then. I'd rather never see the sun than die.
You will regret that statement.
You'd rather never see the sun? I will send the harpies.
I only meant my eyes! I am satisfied. Helios, I leave him to you. You are cursed.
The harpies will torment you from this moment on. You will always want food and drink, but the feast will never be few. Harpies, come.
Ha, you foolish mortal.
Did you think it would be this easy? Sisters, it's time to eat.
The wise and kind judgment of Zeus.
Medusa, who suffered a grim fate. She was the sisters of the Gorgons, Zeno and Uriel, though she was mortal and beautiful, compared to her sisters who had wings and fangs. Medusa's shining blonde hair is the most wonderful of all her charms.
And she knew it.
My skin is more beautiful than fresh fallen snow. My hair is brighter than the sun. My eyes are bluer than the sky, and my lips are redder than the reddest rose.
Medusa was a priestess of Athena. She could not stop talking about herself.
It's a beautiful painting. Shame Athena's eyebrows are so thick. It's a wonderful sculpture, but I'm sure people would have preferred a more delicate figure. Like myself. It's a beautiful temple. Shame it's wasted on someone like Athena. I'm much more pretty than she is. My lady, I'm so sorry.
Maiden, foolish girl, you think you're prettier than I am? Doubt it to be true. But even if it were, there is more to life than beauty alone. While others work and play and learn, all you do little is but boast and admire yourself.
My beauty is considered an inspiration every time I walk into a room.
Silence! You speak nonsense. Beauty fades swiftly in all mortals. It does not comfort the sick, teach the unskilled, or feed the hungry. And by my powers, your loveliness shall be stripped away completely to remind others to control their pride. Medusa, for your pride has been done. Your face is now so terrible, mere sight of it will turn man to stone. Go, you are banished to live with your Gorgon sisters.
The gods are wise.
The gods are cruel!
Cleo!
They're not always cruel. Zeus once held a banquet to celebrate the marriage to Peleus and Thetis.
A sea nymph who was meant to bear a child that would outstrip his father
Zeus commanded her to marry immortal man.
to protect the gods.
And indeed, soon they
became parents to Achilles, the hero of the Trojan War.
So what started the Trojan War anyway?
It actually happened because of that feast.
The one who Zeus held for Peleus and Thetis. That's what started the Trojan War that lasted 10 years.
Well, you see, all the gods were invited.
Except Eris. Zeus hadn't invited her.
Goddess of Discord. Because really, who would?
And she wasn't very happy.
Because she never is.
Don't invite me to your feast. Worried I'll cause an argument? Just you wait. This is going to be the biggest war since the Titans.
Or the fairest.
Well, obviously it's meant for me then.
Foolish. The apple is mine. You two are both terribly incorrect. The goddess of love and beauty, may I remind you, is obviously the fairest.
Husband, you decide.
Yes, Father, you must choose. Almighty Zeus, please choose me as the fairest.
I could not possibly choose.
You must.
Paris can decide.
Poor Paris, you can't win this one.
Hermes, bring the goddesses to Paris.
At once, O Zeus.
Well done, Zeus. Another problem dodged.
We'll see. But I thought Paris didn't know he was the Prince of Troy.
He didn't, at least until after the visit.
But why didn't he know? Was he stolen at birth?
Hecuba, Queen of Troy, a mother of Hector and Paris.
She had a dream the night before Paris was born of a torch that set fire to Troy.
My lady, what's happened?
Nothing, just a bad dream.
Later that day, Hecuba gave birth to Paris, and he consulted Asia.
The dream says that the boy will destroy Troy. What? What do I do? I cannot tell you, madam.
Priam and Hecuba discussed the child's fate.
They came to the conclusion the boy could not live.
They sent him away.
How horrible.
But he did not perish. He was found by shepherds. And raised as a shepherd boy.
Which is where Hermes and the goddesses found them.
Hermes, Hera, Aphrodite, Athena. What do I owe the pleasure, O great goddesses?
And God. They've appeared before you to be judged. The great and mighty Zeus has decided to allow you the task to decide who is the fairest out of these three goddesses.
Me? But I'm a simple shepherd boy.
You are Prince of Troy,
I am.
and Zeus has decided you will make this decision.
He's too kind and wise. It will be my honor to make the choice.
Fool, look well, O Paris, and make your choice.
All are worthy of this honor. Shame all can't win.
O noble Paris, if you rule in my favour, I will grant you power of all lands.
O wise and clever Paris, if I leave the winner, you will be invincible in warfare.
None shall stand against you in battle.
Oh, beautiful and handsome Paris, don't let these gifts sway you.
I once heard you proclaim Helen of Sparta,
Wife of Menelaus,
the most beautiful woman in the world.
I promise you that you will win the love of and marry the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen, soon to be known as Helen of Troy. If you choose me, of course.
Marry a woman? Ha! He can have any woman he wants when he's ruling.
Oh, please, when he's the strongest and wisest, every woman will want him.
But I want Helen. Aphrodite is the fairest.
What?
You'll regret this, mortal.
You will curse this day when you next find yourself in battle, son of Troy.
Go, son of Troy. Go to Sparta and claim your prize. Take Helen from her husband and bring her to Troy. Go.
So he stole Helen from her husband.
and took her to Troy, with death as her dowry.
Where his sister Cassandra recognized him, and she had a touch of the prophet.
He is here, the flame of the city. We will burn.
But no one believed her. In the joy of the meeting, Hecube's dream was forgotten.
And what of Menelaus? Helen's first husband before Paris stole her.
He gathered all the Greeks and went to war against Troy.
Troy, not just Paris.
Paris was Prince of Troy. His family protected him.
Helen promised to stay with Paris as she loved him like Aphrodite promised. So what happened to Troy?
The war raged for 10 years.
Hera and Athena went against Troy and Paris.
And
Beware the punishment of the gods.
We have more tales to tell before the fall of Troy. The Amazons.
Daughters of Ares.
Horse riders.
skilled with the bow and arrow.
Ignorant to traditional women's work.
I like the sound of that.
The Amazon couldn't marry until they killed a man.
How terrible, poor men!
Oh please, they all deserved it.
The two queens of the Amazon, Hippolyta and Penthesilea, sisters. Hippolyta ruled the Amazons until one day she met Hercules.
Who are you and what are you doing in my woods?
Your woods? I've came to see the queen of the Amazons, Hippolyta. These are her woods, not yours.
They are indeed, and they are mine because I am Hippolyta.
Great Hippolyta, I've came to seek a boon.
Ask then, mortal man.
I am no mortal, I am the son of Zeus. I've come to get the belt your father Ares gave to you.
Why should I grant you this favour?
Because, wise queen, I don't think you would like me to suffer.
Very well. Take the belt with my blessing.
But when Hercules was bartering with Hippolyta, Hera, who hated Hercules and wished him to fail, Hera took the form of an Amazon, appeared before the warrior woman.
Hercules is trying to abduct our queen. We must save her.
Sisters! Warriors! We have to save our queen!
With my blessing.
Oh, thank you, noble queen.
There he is with our queen! Attack! Kill the mortal! Save our queen! Aha! Queen Hippolyta's dead.
Now Queen Penthesilea will rule.
Find him! Kill him!
But Hercules already boarded his ship.
With the 9th labour completed. So Queen Penthesilea rules the Amazons.
She did and took them to battle. In the Trojan War, Paris has started.
They joined the Greeks!
No, they were on Troy's side.
But it fell.
So did Penthesilea, as she fought on the Trojan side. Achilles killed her in battle. As she died, he declared his love for her. Let's start at the beginning of the war. The Greeks arrived at Troy to get Helen back, but they were unable to get into the city, so the battles took place outside. War raged for 9 years. Among the heroes who fell was Penthesilea.
During the war, Achilles, the champion of the Greeks, had a falling out with King Agamemnon.
Apollo was angry with the Greeks.
They dishonoured his priest, who'd come to find his daughter.
King Agamemnon, I have the money to free my daughter in the name of Apollo.
Old man, I will not fear your daughter. Leave before I hurt you!
King Apollo, hear my prayer. Let your arrows avenge my tears.
Greeks, we have been cut down for 10 days. Let us go ask some priests why Apollo is angry with us.
I can tell you why Apollo was angry with you, as long as you swear to defend me.
Fear not. No Greek shall hurt you while I live.
Apollo is angry with you because Agamemnon dishonored his priest. He will not save the Greeks until the girl is with her father.
Seer of evil! You're saying Apollo has plagued us because of me? Ha! I'll give her up if I must, but you must find me another prize.
Most noble son, how should the Greeks find you another prize? We have no store to get one from. Give this girl to Apollo, and if we take Troy, you can take 3 times as much.
Are you to keep your prize when I give up the girl? Let the Greeks find me another prize, or I'll take yours!
We followed you, Sir Insolence. I have no quarrel with the Trojans. I never get a prize as good as yours, though I do all the work while you sit here. Therefore, I will go home with my ships. I would be dishonored to stay here.
Fly if you will. I don't want you to stay. I have others here that will do me honor. Apollo takes my prize, I'll take yours. Achilles left Agamemnon and prayed to his mother Thetis to ask Zeus to help the Trojans, because the Greeks would need him back.
Zeus granted this wish, and the Trojans won every battle.
The other leaders approached Agamemnon, led by the cunning Odysseus. They begged him to fix the argument for the sake of the war.
Please, King Agamemnon, please!
I'll do as you say. I'll return the girl and give Achilles his pick of the treasure.
That is a generous offer, my king. I will tell him.
We face defeat unless you fight for us. Agamemnon apologizes. There's no time for anger.
I will never forgive Agamemnon. We will leave tomorrow. Cousin, take this man away.
Patroclus, if Achilles is not seen fighting, the soldiers will lose their heart and die.
Patroclus fought a thought. A terrible thought.
Mother, Zeus, please make this battle fail. I will find Patroclus and sail home.
Zeus heard his prayer, but Achilles had no idea what that meant. No matter how much she looked, Achilles couldn't find Patroclus, as he never thought to look upon the battlefield. But at that moment, Hector had come upon Patroclus.
The great Achilles. Hector, Prince of Troy. You seem smaller in person.
Are we here to talk or to fight?
Patroclus, no!
Behold the mighty Achilles. Achilles? Achilles lives? Who's that? Oh no, it's his cousin, Patroclus.
Foolish boy!
Sword!
I'm sorry, Achilles. I thought he was you.
You wanted to fight the great Achilles. Now is your chance.
No, brother!
You see, when Achilles was born, his mother Thetis dipped him in the river Styx, so he would be invulnerable. But she had to hold on to him so the baby wouldn't float away. She held his heel, thinking no one would try to hurt a heel in a fight.
All of Achilles' vulnerability was there, and his life ebbed away.
There are lots of commanders in the Greek army.
He had no family in the army.
However, in Troy, the king and queen had lost their son. Troy's end was close. They closed the gates and stayed in the city.
There was still no way into the city for the Greeks.
It was Athena's idea, whispered to Odysseus.
The Greeks built a wooden horse.
Inside hid their best heroes.
They packed their camp and, leaving the horse, sailed away.
Leaving behind one man.
The Trojans emerged from behind their gate to find the Greek man and the wooden horse.
Capture him!
Tell me, Greek, where are the others?
They left me behind. They admitted defeat and they sailed for home.
Home?
They've gone home?
They've admitted defeat?
Tell me about the horse.
It's an offering for Athena. It's so large it couldn't get in the city. It keeps the city safe.
We must bring the horse inside.
Trojans, the horse brings fire, pain, and death. Burn it!
Hush, mad woman! It has been decided. Bring the horse in.
The Trojans themselves had to be responsible for the fall of the city.
The city slept that night, and the Greeks stole out of the horse. They opened the gates to the army of Agamemnon.
The Greek army killed the Trojans.
For the gods, the activity of mortals are sport.
One generation dies and is replaced by another.
The gods play alike with all of their friends, as careless boys sport with flies.
The greater the hero, the greater the suffering. These are the obstacles that heroes face and strive to overcome.
These are stories of Muses, daughters of Zeus.
Praise to all the gods.
What goes in 4 feet in the morning, 2 feet in the afternoon, and 3 feet at night. steps after in like at the end.
2 steps forward. Okay. Reign of science.
She was the sister of the Gorgons, Sora and
Okay, still going? Good girl. Alright, go back.
I must.
Alright, charge. Whoop! Honestly, I knew that was going to happen. Sandy's reading. Good girls. Alright, shot 3. Take 1. Scene 5. On Demeter finding out that Persephone is going to be rescued. Action.
Tersey chore of grass.
Dance.
Joyful, he would be reunited with his love.
I can 100% see that in the camera. Just so you're aware, you're on camera, yawning away in the background.
Or did she?
Come back to me so you can grab the stuff. Interesting. Super duper interesting. One thing, all I can see is your back.
Ow! Orphea!
Now, the camera's this way.
Babe, babe.
Ow! Orphea! I decided to send Hermes to Hades. Thank you, brother.
Alright, okay. Well, Demeter's having issues. Go back and...
Sorry.
No, what are you doing? Not you, stay in. Okay.
This is definitely.
You're so pretty.